Hello there everybody. This video is going to be about the story concept, the script and the script breakdown. Number 1. Story concept. Okay, basic story that I have so far. An ordinary modern man turns up in an ancient civilization and finds the people there and their rituals to be quite disturbing. Meanwhile, some holy men who dislike the ancient town decide to take a man who has a deadly infectious disease and slit his throat and throw him into the water supply. His blood then infects the water and starts to make the people of the ancient civilization very, very ill. The people of the ancient civilization blame the modern man because he is an outsider, and they think that he has brought the disease into their town. So they take him to the top of a pyramid and they throw him down a well in the top of the pyramid into a bonfire. There's a lot of details that I need to work out, but that's what I've got so far. Okay, number 2 is the script. I've never written a script professionally, as in I've never actually been paid to write a script, so don't think that my scripts are completely professional standard. However, I do try and make them as professional as I can possibly get them. To start with, I would say that there's about 3 fundamental rules when writing a script. Rule number 1 is you don't say anything in the script which can't be seen on screen. A man wakes up and sits up in his bed. He has not seen his father in 6 years. Right, I'm not even kidding, right? I genuinely once read a script that said something like this, right? How the fuck do you expect the audience watching the film to know that this man has not seen his father in 6 years? How are you going to show that to the audience? Don't tell the person reading the script something that the audience can't see. A man wakes up and sits up in his bed. He is feeling hungover. Don't tell me that this guy is feeling hungover. Show me that he's feeling hungover. Rule number 2 is don't do other people's jobs. Exterior, city street outside casino. Day. A man smokes a cigarette. Extreme close-up on the smoke leaving his mouth. Okay, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to do a storyboard on the script? Is it your job to choose the shots? No, so don't put shots in. A man who is 6 foot tall with ginger hair smokes a cigarette. Okay, so you're making casting decisions now, are you? Eh? Are you limiting the people who cast this film to only casting guys who are 6 foot tall with ginger hair? Is it important to the story that the man has ginger hair and is 6 foot tall? If not, get rid of it. Exterior, city street outside casino. Day. A man is wearing a sharp grey suit. It is a well-fitting, slim-fit suit.
The top shirt button is unfastened underneath his tie, however. This is because his neck is bigger in proportion to his body than what is usual. So if he buys shirts from a shop, he has to choose between buying ones that fit the neck and ones that fit his torso. He usually opts for ones that fit his torso because most of the time he wears them with the top button open. This presents a problem on occasions where he has to wear a tie, however.
Right, this is bad writing because all of this paragraph here, that's doing the costume designer's job. You have to leave all of the costume decisions to the costume designer. If you are going to give any description of the costume whatsoever, it needs to be related to the story. So if you say a man is wearing a grey suit, it needs to be important to the story that the man is wearing a grey suit. If not, you don't say anything about what the man is wearing. You just let the director and the costume designer decide those things. A man wakes up and sits up in his bed. He is feeling the kind of extreme sickness that you would feel if you had just killed a man. Okay, whenever possible, you should leave it to the actor and the director to kind of work out the finer details about how the character is feeling at any moment in time. And you should basically write your script well enough that it's kind of obvious how the character might feel in that particular situation, rather than simply telling the reader how the character feels. And rule number 3, one that is usually the most common one that professional scriptwriters might give someone, but might be easy to avoid if you follow the first 2 rules, is basically don't write really fucking long descriptions that sound like prose. You're not writing a novel here, you're writing a script. It's very different. So you've got a massive big chunk of description on your script. Like, how the hell do you expect your cast and crew to read all of that shit and remember it? Is it important? No. You can tell what's important in a script because it's the stuff that the cast and crew would actually remember. They wouldn't remember a big long chunk of description like this. What are the important parts of that description? What are the things that the cast and crew need to know? Get rid of everything else. Okay, before you start writing your script, it's a good idea to write out some sort of treatment or step outline, kind of paper summary of the story you're going to tell, just so that you've got kind of a guide to kind of work on when you're doing your script. Right, so I'm sitting here working on the script, and I'm looking at reading through the vomit draft, and I'm just trying to make a few little changes. I'm just going to go through with you a few of the kind of small changes that I've made to this script, or a few of the small changes that I'm making to this script as I'm reading through it. One thing that I learned from a kind of actual professional scriptwriter was that saying something along the lines of "a holy man sits on a rock," you shouldn't put the word "sits" unless you're referring to an action. Like, if somebody sits, it means that you can kind of see them kind of doing the action of sitting down during the scene. If they are already sitting in that position when the scene starts, you should put "a holy man is sitting on a rock." I've got a bad habit of writing things like "the ordinary man comes into the room." I think that should just be "ordinary man enters." There we go. Right, I'm just gonna take that out. Fuck it. Right. Take it out. Yeah, fuck that. I don't need that line. And I'm just gonna change that line to throw him in. And it's not gonna be a line that's on the title cards, it's just going to be a line that the actor says on set. I wasn't sure about this line. I mean, it's a bit like a kind of, almost like an exposition dump in some ways, which is obviously something that you should try and avoid in a script. However, it does have some slight comedy value perhaps, so maybe I should leave it in, although I'm not 100% sure whether I want this to be fully comical. It's kind of semi-comical, but I'm not sure whether I want it to be. Come on, autofocus. Right, there we go. Right, I started to get rid of that line, but now I'm not sure whether it was a good idea. So I'm gonna click undo here and bring it back again. There we go. Right, ordinary man lands. That is not good writing. It should be something like ordinary man falls in from above. Okay, and here is the script in full paper form. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a script breakdown. And how you do a script breakdown is, first of all, you go through the script, you break the scenes apart by putting lines in between each scene, like so. Then what you do is go through again and basically number the scenes one by one in pen. I would advise against actually doing this on the kind of digital copy of the script, because apparently it's supposed to be unprofessional to number your scenes too early on in the post-production, in the pre-production stage. Right, the next thing you want to do is you want to underline all of your locations. They should be above the dialogue, but what you want to do is you also want to read through the description and just make sure there's no, make sure you underline any characters that don't have dialogue but who are mentioned. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to read through and look for props. So we've got flesh there. Okay, so I've got locations, characters and props. The next thing I'm going to do is costume. Any costumes that are mentioned in the script. Which is quite a lot on this script. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read through again, and I'm going to underline any part where I think I might need kind of some sort of special effects, which I'll go into in a later video of how I'm actually going to do some of these special effects on, using practical methods on Super 8 film. But for now I'm just going to underline any place where I think I might need special effects. He slits the cabbage mutant's throat. Right, now that we've been through a script and we've underlined things, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a script breakdown. Now, one way that people often do this is they'll get kind of index cards, and they'll have an index card for each scene, and they'll kind of write a little index card for each scene. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to make a big chart. I'm going to write along the top all the things that we mentioned before. So we've got I'm going to put major after that, actually, because sometimes I like to divide up the major characters from the small characters. because you attach more importance to major characters when you're producing a film, and then I'm going to put minor. And the other axis is going to be scenes. There we go. Okay, here we've got scene 3. For characters, we've got the holy man, we've got the first major character there. For minor characters, we've got the rogue man. For extras, we've got holy man's followers. For props, we've got rope. For location, a wooded valley. And for the costumes, I've just wrote down all of the characters that I think would need distinctive costumes: the holy man, followers, the robed man. And for effects, I've got rope, just to remind me that I'm going to need someone who knows how to tie rope in a safe way. Okay, so I've done a script breakdown here, and basically filled them all in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the dividing lines down here. There's a finished script breakdown, which basically tells me everything that I'm going to need to get for this film. Got a lot of work to do. Okay, that's today's video. Don't forget, we're going to be making one new Super 8 film per month for 4 months, starting in June. So please subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. Also, check out the other videos along here, you might like them. Rah.